All right, before we head out of here, the Pittsburgh Steelers will not be playing this weekend, but we have fun gambling anyways, and we have fun picking our games anyways. And I don't know, you'll be in North Carolina. Could you gamble in North Carolina? Is that a thing?
You can gamble in person. I actually just looked this up. You can gamble in person at like a casino in North Carolina. You cannot gamble on your phone.
That stinks. But there's got to be a casino somewhere.
I hope so.
You'll find one. I mean, there's cars. There's Ubers. There are ways. There's feet. You have two legs. You got plenty of time to get to a casino if need be. And I mean, you're still in Pennsylvania for what? The next hour
I was
gonna
say I got hour and a half. About 45 minutes. But I also have 7 hours driving through West Virginia where you can gamble on your phone. So I think we'll maybe make some picks ahead of time. You're going to
drive through West Virginia for 7. You'd take 7 hours to drive through West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean you got to go through like a little bit of Virginia and then some of North Carolina as well. But I think the bulk of the trip will be going through West Virginia, yeah.
Never realized West Virginia. I thought West Virginia was real tiny, real whoop, in out.
Oh, dude, that thing's huge. Huge.
I've only been to West Virginia one time. I can't say that I'm in a huge rush to get back there, unless you're a West Virginia fan and you're like, oh man, you gotta come visit. Let me know, I guess. But would have never thought that it was that big. That being said, make sure you get your picks in. I'll be here hoping for the best for you and just hoping that you found a casino. Checking in on you probably. Let's go through the 4 games that the Pittsburgh Steelers will not be taking part in. We'll pick for or against the spread here. We'll start with the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. Baltimore is a big 9.5-point favorite in this one. They haven't played in 2 weeks. CJ Stroud, I mean, we watched what CJ Stroud did last week while trapped in Buffalo. That dude put on a show against the Cleveland Browns. 9.5 points. You taking it? You going against it? What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I don't think the Texans end up winning, but that 9.5 is way too big, especially seeing what the Texans did against the Browns, who were the number 1 defense in the NFL, I think, for most of the year, at least by yards, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I think the Texans are going to be able to score a little bit, but I think the Ravens will too. I think the Ravens are the better team, so they win, but not by 9.5. No way.
No, I agree. There's no chance this is a 9.5-point game. CJ Stroud is a complete animal. And look, rookies do not win Super Bowls, and I will hold on to that as long as I possibly can because rookies do not win Super Bowls. But it doesn't mean that you can't get to the AFC Championship or at least make games competitive. I don't think that if it was Cleveland, I'd be even more pessimistic. There's just in my eyes, man, there's no way that Houston is losing by 10 in this game. I'm taking the points as well. Or I'm taking Houston in the points, 9.5, no chance. Next, we'll toss it over to the NFC. Green Bay Packers traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. Again, 9.5-point spread for this one. Jordan Love put on a show, put on a bunch of points against the Dallas Cowboys, but to a degree, it is Dak and the Cowboys, and those expectations are not very high once the playoffs start. Kind of remind you of the Pittsburgh Steelers to a degree. 9.5 points. What you taking here?
Well, I'm a huge Jordan Love fan, man. Like that's shout out my friend Dakota from high school. He's a big Packers fan, but I was texting him the last weekend about how much I love Jordan Love. He was one of my fantasy quarterbacks. I think I'm actually considering flirting with the Packers money line here.
Wow.
We'll cross that bridge a little bit later. For right now, I will just say Packers plus 9.5. I think that's way too big of a number as well. So I would take the Packers on the spread as well.
I am very glad that you have a 7-hour West Virginia trip to debate that because the Packers money. I'm picking the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. I think Packers money line's a tough one. That being said, oh man, I think I'm going against you. I think I'm taking the 9.5 points. I think San Francisco is too dominant right now. I think I'm taking the spread. I'm not going to say I feel good about it. I'm just saying that if there's going to be a game that's a bit of a blowout, it's going to be this one. And I hate to say that because I love Jordan Love and I love the Packers, but I just think the 49ers are so dominant that I could see them run. And they're going to be hungry. They got so much to prove in this one. I'm going to take San Francisco 9.5. I'm not feeling great about it. Could be a deciding factor for us this week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Detroit 6.5-point dogs, barely escaping the Los Angeles Rams, but escaping the Los Angeles Rams. Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, that team is red hot right now, and they are so much fun to watch. But Baker Mayfield put on a show against the Philadelphia Eagles. 6.5 point dogs for the Bucks. You going spread against spread? What you feeling?
I think the Lions kind of run away with this one pretty easily. I'm taking that 6.5. I think they're clearly the better team, but also I love that home environment that they have in Detroit.
Yes.
Like, those people are hungry, man, and they have a lot of pent up energy that they were. Who knows if it'll be the same as the last game, but I have to expect, like, as the stakes get higher, those Lions fans are going to show out and they're going to be just as loud as they were on Wild Card Weekend. So I'm going with the Lions. I'll take that 6.5.
Shout out the reporter who definitely got sent there and was told to ask this question from their producer. So not their fault whatsoever. Who asked Todd Bowles if he's ready for the weather up in Detroit. They play in a dome, just in case you weren't aware of that one.
Well, it's going to be cold all weekend,
It is. It's a chilly one. Baker is from did play in Cleveland, Ohio, which is freezing cold at all times. So I'm sure he'll be all right. I'm also taking Detroit 6.5 here, but I'm thinking it's just over. Like, it's just a touchdown, just a 7-point spread. This wouldn't be a game that I felt comfortable taking with and super optimistic that it was going to hit, just because I think Tampa Bay is going to keep it close, but I think Detroit's going to pull one out there late at the end. They're going to have a 7-point win. How they get there, I don't know. I don't expect it to be a game where I'm like, oh man, biting my fingernails, edge of my seat. I hope that's what it is, because I hope all the games are like that. I'm feeling Detroit 6.5 as well, but I think it's a little bit closer than maybe you think. And then the last one here, Kansas City, Buffalo. Bills are 2.5 point favorites at home. We just experienced what's going on up there. I'm sure it's worse at this point. Patrick Mahomes travels to Buffalo. Who you got? What you got?
I got the Bills smoking these guys, man. I got the Bills if I could alt it to
smoking them.
Yeah, I'm not sure this one is going to be particularly close, quite honestly. I think the Bills really take it to them. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias. I saw that home environment that cool. The Bills have in person, and it's crazy. Patrick Mahomes also has never played in a road playoff game.
Yikes.
Makes you think, doesn't it? How does he react to that? I don't know. So I'm riding with the Bills, certainly by 2.5. I'd probably take it by more if I could, but I'm all about the Bills this weekend.
Ooh, 2.5. All right, so more than 2.5. I don't think I'd take it more than 2.5. I think I am taking the Bills 2.5. I think they pull this one out. It's their turn in the rivalry. I don't expect the Kansas City Chiefs to be. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins. I'm not a Dolphins guy. I don't think that there's any part of me that sits around and goes, "Oh man, I can't believe they beat the Dolphins." Just expected that one to happen. Buffalo, like you said, is going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. I think this is the year Buffalo gets them. They are the hottest team in football right now. That means something in the playoffs. I don't know where it goes from here. I'm very excited to see a Buffalo-Baltimore AFC championship game. I'd be excited to see a Buffalo-Houston AFC championship game too. Anything outside of Kansas City's cool. I respect Kansas City. They've been there too many times at this point. I'm just not looking forward to it. I'm going Bills 2.5 as well. I don't think it's a runaway game. I think it's a lot closer, but I think Josh Allen pushes it out this time right there at the end.